to smoke a purse so sweet with Hot Thoughts TV.
Y'all know what the fuck we doing, man. It's Hot Thoughts TV. Niggas hot in the bitch, man.
I'm smoking a purse so sweet with Hot Thoughts TV.
So, like you said, just being able to actually focus on being a solo artist now. Talk about your creative process, like when you are trying to put together music, tapes, visuals, choreography, because we see you got that, like, you know, talk about, you know, the mindset versus having to work with 2, maybe 3 other people.
Right. It is definitely different because now it's solely me and my ideas. And I've yet to really have time to become, like, I guess, one with who I am as an artist. So I'm trying, like, I have so many ideas, so many different things I want to try because I never really got to try them, like, you know, on my own. Like, even before when we was in a group, on the creative end, like the dancing and the direction of the songs, because we had a singer in the group who already was a step master and she already, you know, was captain of a dance team, we kind of had that in-house, so we didn't have to never go to nobody or anything like that. So she would create our choreo, and it was easy, you know, to follow, but it's also easy to just kind of know your body and know yourself. So it's kind of like, now I'm in a situation where I know how I like to dance, I know what I like to do, but it's like the same time, I'm so like wishy-washy, like 1 minute, I want to be a little tomboy, next minute I want to be a girly girl, next minute this. And my songs are kind of like that too, so you can tell. So right now I'm just being able to really just kind of like put myself in one little lane for a second and like really master that lane. So that's what I'm working on myself with, versus before I didn't really have to think about any of that because it was a direction already given to me. But at the same time, it was, although she did it, she still did it off of me. Like me and her, like I said, been friends for 10 years. So it's like she knew me as a person. She knew my body. She would just kind of see what I would do naturally and create choreo from me. So it's not like I was never doing nothing like crazy or out of the norm or like something I never would think to do. Because it wasn't that. It's just now, like I said, I have to narrow down myself because I have so many ideas, so many things I want to do. I did learn my lesson from my first solo performance that I just did, which was awesome. Like, I have over 50 plus people who came out there just solely for me, and that shit shocked the fuck out of me. I didn't even think I could do that shit, like my first solo performance. But I tried to do a lot on stage, and that was the first time I realized, like, I ain't got nobody to help me with them breaths, so I ain't got nobody verse that's about to come up after mine. I can take a little 1-2 second, like I'm the one up there the entire time, like that's me, that's my voice. So I had to, like, although it still went great, you know, it was like me and my internal self and me being the perfection that I am, wanting to not sound tired at no point. I don't care if it's for 20 seconds in my set, like I don't want to not sound tired, like, you know. So that's just little things that I see myself working on, and little things that I see the difference in, like from being a group to being solo. So it's just working on my controlling myself on the stage and being able to control the show to the utmost, you know. So yeah.
Well, you know, I feel like female artists, they just going crazy lately. Like they going up. Especially like Texas female artists. Does that do anything like for your confidence and show you like?
Hell yeah, it really does, because, you know, 4 or 5 years ago when we were signed to Matthew, it wasn't really nobody coming out of Houston, no female. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing but men. And we were females and we were a group, and we were under Matthew Knows, which already had the #1 female group that came out of Houston. So it was like, it was pressure, but then it wasn't. But at the same time, it was kind of sometimes discouraging, because it was like, well, damn, like, I feel like the world didn't want to hear. Around that time, I feel like the gangster rap was in more so, like, you know, like you're real, not like this day and age, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, it was like more of that you was hearing, and hear us, you know, like these hip hop pop girls coming in, you know what I'm saying, from Houston, Texas. So it was a little bit discouraging at first, but I mean, we always would get love and reassurance from people, and we were traveling out of state a lot, doing a lot of shows when we were signed to him. So we had opinions more so outside of Texas, and the response outside of Texas was always great. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it'd be like that. Like, you know, you go other places and people fall in love with you in your hometown, won't even like recognize you sometimes. And it sucks that it's like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just something that artists deal with, and you just have to figure out how to capitalize in your market, you know what I'm saying? And then those are the people that make it out. Like, this shit is what it is. Everybody kind of goes about it differently. Some people got to leave and come back. Some people got to, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on what your situation is. But it was definitely like, it was just one of those situations where it was like, all right, it's time.
Yeah. So, like, talking to Justin, I feel like it's maybe year 2, almost 3 of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
How was that, like, transition for you, like, as a person and as an artist?
Ooh, the pandemic transition was different. Because right before the pandemic, we were actually getting ready to move to LA. Like, we were, like, preparing everything. We had been out there for, like, 2 months. And we were coming back to kind of like stack up our money a little bit more, and then we're gonna go out there, and then like the pandemic hit, and that shit just all changed. Like, for one, everything in LA shut down to the point where it was like literally no point to move out there. Like, and even now it's still kind of like not as jumping as Houston or Atlanta. It's really like, you know, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit harder for artists who aren't established yet to the point where, you know, you can just make things happen when you need them to happen. When you're trying to go out there and really network and rub shoulders, like, it's really not a time to do that right now because there's really not many things out there for you to do that to. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was the number one thing that was kind of a slap in the face. Everything slowed down to the point where we made most of our money from doing shows because we were great performers, and that's what everyone knew us by. So when the show thing stopped, it definitely took a toll. Cause, you know, I put a little extra stress on trying to figure out, cause we was artists 100% of the day. Like, I don't have no 9 to 5. Like, this is what I do all day. So my money comes to me hustling, doing what I love, my music. So in whichever way, how possible that I could get it. So with the pandemic, it kind of slowed a lot of different avenues down. But at the same time, it opened different doors and allowed me to be able to even see and maybe try things that I probably never would have tried if it wasn't for the pandemic. So I feel like it was definitely a transition, but a good transition and a reflecting one. Because like those points where we really couldn't go outside for like I'm gonna say Texas only really had like 2 to 3 months where we really was like nobody on the road. Those 2 to 3 months, it's crazy because they were really probably the most peaceful time I've had. And then right when everything kind of started picking up, it was like stressful. Yeah. Only because it seemed like I ain't know the direction to go. Like, it was like, nobody knew the direction to go. Like, nobody really knew what was about to happen. Niggas thought at first it was a joke, or like things wasn't really gonna get that affected, and you start seeing so many things being shut down in the entertainment business. Like, wow, it's like venues, just everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like niggas talking about we ain't even better hit a stage till 2022. I remember when they said that, and it was 2020. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was like, what? Like, so it was definitely a transition, man. But like, I just knew in my mind I had to stick it out and stick through it, because I was like, man, I'm not allowing the pandemic to get the best of me. Hell no. Shit. Dude.